The next order of business is the final reading of Ordinance 695, 2009. Madam Clerk, please read the ordinance.
Bond ordinance 695-2009. A bond ordinance to authorize the making of a loan to the Union County Improvement Authority in connection with the Renewable Energy Program in, by, and for the County of Union, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $500,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The meeting is now open to the public for the purpose of commenting on ordinance number 695, 2009 only. Kindly come forward and state your name and hometown, and please adhere to the 5-minute time limit.
Good evening, Chairman Marabella, ladies and gentlemen of the Freeholder Board, Bruce Patterson, 325 Willow Avenue, Garwood. Again, here's another one. It starts off with the word bond ordinance, much like that first one I was asking, and then immediately I start thinking about borrowing money. Just some questions, and then actually a comment. It's making a loan. How is the loan going to be paid back by the UCIA to us taxpayers? That's the question. And then I just want to make a comment also. And I've stood here before in front of you and at other governmental agencies, and I've talked about the purpose of government. And this is actually a good thing. When it comes to new technologies being instituted into society, and the first cost is always astronomical, it's good that the government does step up and actually help out in grants or funding to cover the initial first costs for the implementation of these new technologies, in the hopes that once it becomes more and more mainstream, it will become more affordable to the public. This is one of the good purposes of government. I mean, I've seen many bad purposes, but this I actually, although I don't want to see borrowing or loans, but I am commending the government for actually taking it on themselves and moving forward with the greening and the environment, energy savings towards a better environment. So thank you very much, and if somebody could answer that.
Bruce, I'm delighted to say I agree with you.
One.
It happens once or twice a year, doesn't it?
You know?
I think you're right. I think this is a purpose of government to put this money forward. It will be repaid by the individual municipalities or Board of Educations as. I'm going to ask Jonathan to come up, but or colleague, but I expect to recover this money over time.
Mr. Chairman, hi, Steve Perlman, excuse me, from the Dakotas Law Firm. We're counsel to the Improvement Authority. Thank you for the opportunity to respond, and to you, sir. The answer is the Improvement Authority, when a pool of local units is put together, will float bonds, and those bonds will have a portion of the money available to set aside to repay the county. Now, that begs the question, because who's paying back those bonds? And the answer to that question is that the competitively procured solar developer that will actually be putting the panels on the local unit government's facilities, on the roofs, will actually be paying back the debt service. So it's actually a better answer than you might hope. It actually does not go back to the taxpayer. It actually is borne by the private market.
Go ahead.
Yeah, another couple of questions. These private contractors, what are they called, PPOs? They're the ones that actually install and they own it?
Yeah, the term is PPA, Power Purchase Agreement, right? Right.
All right. I mean, the governmental agencies will have a choice of actually having it installed and owning it themselves instead of having a PPA own it. Is that correct?
That is correct. The reason why this option is selected over that is probably for the reasons you stated earlier. If the governments own it, they have to bond for it and pay it back with taxpayer dollars. The whole point of this program is to try and find a way to not use taxpayer dollars, and number one. And number two, try and take advantage of the federal tax benefits that government cannot take advantage of.
And there's probably an economy of scale, too, with a group of municipalities pooling together the option to lower the cost, right? And not only is this a terrific idea, but it lowers energy costs for the towns that take advantage of this. That's the real benefit over time, too.
Yeah, absolutely. In addition to paying back the debt, the whole goal here is to provide energy, not 100% of their energy. Solar technology is not that good yet, but provide a portion of the energy in the buildings at a rate below tariff, what they're paying now to the utilities.
Just one last question. The PPAs, they're going to be certified somehow for accountability, make sure that they're solid.
Expect so.
Yeah, I mean,
Who-
that-
You know, who's involved in that?
Actually, the form of the power purchase agreement is attached to the RFP that goes out to the market. So you actually get to control what's in that document yourself before it goes out, and then the market is required to convey whatever material term differences they may have, and then you can decide if you accept them or not.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Bruce. Anyone else wishing to speak on this ordinance? Okay, I'll close that portion of the meeting and ask Freeholder Scanlon to move ordinance 695, 2009.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to move ordinance number 695, 2009 for final reading and authorize the clerk of the board to advertise same in accordance with the law. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Okay, moved by Freeholder Scanlon and seconded by Freeholder Holmes. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Fielder Estrada?
Yes.
Fielder Holmes?
Aye.
Fielder Kowalski?
Yes.
Fielder Proctor?
Aye.
Fielder Scanlon?
Aye.
Fielder Van Blake? Fielder Ward?
Aye.
Chairman Mirabella?
Aye.
8 in the affirmative, sir.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk.